Daniel, it's been 4 days since you left it to see Callum. 4 days. And we've got one message from you. Quote, problem with Callum, but I'm dealing with it. But we want to know what the problem is, please. Has he been on more drugs? Or did he do something stupid? Don't you dare try and cut me out of my son's life. No. I didn't mean it like that. You're my son too. You know how I feel, but you're old enough to know better. And I'm not sure Callum is. He never took drugs at his age. He's impressionable, you know that. Look, just get your backside on this Zoom thing and let me and your mother know what the hell is happening here. Now!
You coming on?
Oh, I don't know, Susan. He just hung up. I'll ring him back in a bit. You know how stubborn he is when he digs his heels in. Gets that from you. Oh, hang on. There he is, coming into the call.
Daniel, you look rough. What's going on? Tell us.
I promised Callum I wouldn't. He just doesn't want you two involved.
We're his parents. If there's something wrong, Daniel, you have no right to keep it from us.
I know. I get it. I'm going to tell you both, but you stay away from the hospital, Mum. I'm warning you. Callum trusts me. I think I'm the only person he trusts.
Hospital?
What is it, Daniel?
When I got to his flat, he was almost unresponsive. The door was open. He was just sitting in front of his computer, half unconscious, staring at the screen. I thought he was dying.
We know. He came back on after you left and then just disappeared when you weren't on.
I phoned an ambulance. It just wasn't Callum. Spent the night next to him at A&E. Sat and watched him get progressively worse until the triage nurse saw him, and then all hell broke loose.
Well, how do you mean?
They rushed him into a resuscitation room and told me to wait outside. I thought, this is it, the idiot has overdosed. But he hadn't. He was really ill. If I hadn't gotten to him in time, then Mum, it was meningitis, bacterial meningitis. Would have been fatal without intervention. Thank God I went.
Go on. You say would have been fatal. Well, that means it's okay, right?
No, he's not okay. Never bloody will be again. Neither of us will.
He's not going to get better, you mean?
From the illness, Mum, yes, but from what you two have put Cal and I through, no. I doubt we'll ever forget these past couple of weeks. Anyways, he spent 3 days on intravenous antibiotics and he's over the worst of it, thank God. He'll be allowed home in a day or two, I hope. I'm going to try and persuade him to come back with me.
Tell him to come home to me.
No. Mum, that's the last thing he wants to do. He doesn't even want you knowing about this.
He's not being fair there, Daniel.
Fair? Who are you to talk about fair, either of you? Was it fair to put me through the trauma of 3 different fathers during this lockdown? Was it fair to overlook what this would do to my brother? Fair? Neither you or Mum know the meaning of the word. Seems to me that you've both been very selfish from the beginning of this.
No, you're wrong.
No, I'm not. It's all been about how this will make you look, hasn't it? And how you can salvage your marriage to David. And what will your 2 boys think of you? Well, you heard what Callum thinks of you both. Both of you, a spineless idiot and a slapper, I think were his very words.
I admit I could have handled things better, But you can't expect me to try to change the past. Daniel, the future to me was looking desperate, with Jenny Critchley threatening me. I was forced into a corner.
But you weren't, Mum, were you? She said nothing to me.
What's so funny? I fail to find any humour in this whatsoever.
Well, if only you'd left it a couple of weeks until Jenny's murder, then the heat would have been off you, right? Wrong. You see, there's another thing I don't get. Whether Jenny told me or not, Mark Broughton was always going to tell me. What do you intend to do about that, eh? I can't help thinking how stupid you can be, Mum. It's like you think nothing through. You've spent your whole life winging it, and now it's all coming back to haunt you. You know, I think I pity you more than anything else, Mum. How can one person be so stupid? As for you, David, well, you have been acting like a bit of a doormat, haven't you? No wonder Callum called you spineless and wet. Problem is, you are his dad, and what have you given him to look up to, eh? Just someone who rolls over and plays dead for the love of a woman. What a load of crap! You wait until these DNA test results. Shouldn't be more than another week or so. You wait. We'll see the truth of your life then, won't we? Jeez, I can't believe how sanctimonious you've been throughout my life now, in hindsight. Bloody loose living you did when you were young.
No, how dare you? I told you everything. Loose? You think that I gave myself to just anyone? 3 men in my entire life does not give you the right to bring me down and talk to me like shit.
Oh, hello, Mother. There's the woman that brought me up. Thought she'd gone forever.
At least I knew what I was.
What? What is that supposed to mean? You better not be talking about Dima, or I swear...
Daniel, please, stop this now. It's getting us nowhere. I want to know about Callum. I've heard horrible stories about the lasting effects of meningitis. Are you sure he's going to be okay?
Told you, David, he's going to make a full recovery from the illness. Can't help thinking that all this stress made it worse, though, and that's on your shoulders, both of you.
What do you think he'd do if I went to see him, Daniel? I need to see him. He's my baby.
He's left strict instructions at the desk for no visitors except me. I mean it, Mum. He doesn't want to see either of you.
It's like the entire world's gone mad. When I was a kid, we never had to deal with lockdowns and isolations and such. This whole thing might have been better dealt with without this pandemic.
Oh, yeah, do you think so? News doesn't improve just because it's delivered in person, David.
The door was open. Scottish Power, come to read your meters.
That was your end, David. Since when does Scottish Power read meters on ships the other side of the world?